Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
Hey, welcome to the Water and Wine Show. So we wanted to give a few do's and don'ts for your first date.
First thing, stay off your phone, okay?
Yeah.
Like, I want your attention. I don't want to see you on your phone unless you're checking to see how much money that you have in your account to pay the bill. I don't want you on your phone. Like, if mom texts you, okay, you can be like, hey, my mom just texted me. Don't lie.
Yeah.
And be like, my mom keeps texting me. Tell mom that you're on a date. It's okay. She'll be fine. She wants grandkids. But listen. And then another thing with the phone, I was speaking to Shara about it. She did. Okay. So anyway, don't put your phone face down like this. So, like, it's a thing where, like, you put your phone face down, you have something to hide. You don't want this, and you want to see who's popping up on your phone. It might be an ex-boo or a current boo on your phone. So if you're doing like this, then you're hiding something. Now, me personally, I like my phone to be like this because I don't like distractions. So this is why I put my phone like this. But I say that before I do it. I'm like, so I'm about to turn my phone upside down because I'll get distracted if I see a text message pop up because I'm going to want to answer it. And then I turn it down.
Yeah. No, I do the same thing. And I think, for me, that's not a big issue. For me personally, if it's a first date thing.
What other tips do you have, Shara?
I would say to let someone know where you are and where you're going. We do live in an age where you never know what people are capable of doing. So if you have one friend that you trust, at least tell them, hey, I'm going on this first date. His name is so-and-so. This is where we're planning on going. And if you're really close to that person, you may want to even share your location. It's just, especially we're talking men and women. A lot of times people are only like, well, if you're a woman, men and women, you have to make sure that you protect yourself.
I agree. My family goes as far as this. Before we even go on a date, we've already been asked you key questions like, oh, when's your birthday? Sent the text out. Where'd you grow up at? Send the text out. About to get in the car.
Right.
Oh, that's a nice car. Got your license plate. Sent the text out.
Right.
This is what the person looks like. This is what the license plate is. This is when they were born. This is where they grew up at. Like, all that information sent out to my family.
Right.
As well as my location. So they're tracking me everywhere I go. They know I'm here. So.
Yeah.
In the queendom.
Yeah. So you just want to make sure that you protect yourself.
Avoid talking too much about yourself. I feel like that is, like, some people just get so wrapped up in just saying so much about themselves. You forget to ask questions of the other person. So you just go from one topic to another, to another, to another, and next thing you know, the other person just sitting just like this. Or like this. Oh, this girl talk too much. All she want to do is talk about herself. So I need you to call me in like a few minutes and say that, my dog is sick and throwing up all over. That's what he's doing to you, sis. So I'm just saying, avoid just having one-sided conversation. Like, be interactive. Like, just get into it.
Right. And on the lines of that, because I feel like a lot of times people do that when they're nervous, really go into your date calm. Like, I think don't be too invested into this first date. You may really like the guy or you may really like the girl, but know that this is only the first date, because guess what? By the end of the day, you may be completely over this person. I don't know if anybody else has experienced this, but I have really had a crush on somebody and liked that person. And then when we finally got to that point where we went on the first date, the conversation was dead, or they did something to turn me off, or I realized they were not the person who I thought they were. And then by the end of the date, I had already made up a decision in my mind that I wanted nothing else to do with them. So go into your first date confident, calm, cool and collected, knowing that if it works, great. If it don't, oh well. Also, be comfortable. Like, this is the first date and you want to make an impression, but don't be out there wearing something that you can't even walk good in because it's so tight, or your shoes are too high. Like, be very comfortable, and that's going to add to you being more calm and cool and collected if you are comfortable in what you're wearing. Like, of course, look cute, look handsome, you know, find something that's going to look bomb and flattering on your body, but don't go, like, to me, to an extreme to where you're completely uncomfortable because you're trying to make such a good first date impression.
So other first date tips is to know who's paying. I feel like before you get into, you know, the whole where you were about to go or whatever, you should decide, okay, if we're going to pay half and half, or is he paying or is she paying? You need to know that going in. Now, my family always taught me, no matter what they say, always travel with your own money. But some people don't. They're just looking for a free meal. So just know who's paying. And I feel like that's a very good tip, because you don't want to be that person stuck in a restaurant looking crazy because you don't have your money together. If you are the person paying, don't choose a place that you can't afford. And expect for, you know, the person to just order a salad off the menu. They might order the whole shebang and that expensive wine. So be at a place that you're actually comfortable with dishing out however amount of money that you have budgeted for this date.
You should look at that menu and make sure you can afford 2 of the highest price items on the menu. And that's how you should base if you can afford that restaurant. Within the last couple of years, like, my perspective on certain things have changed. And me as like a feminist, this may seem like a little kind of, it may take people the wrong way, me saying this, but I really believe if you are a woman and somebody has taken you out on a date, you should not be reaching in your pockets on that first date. Have I done it in the past? No, none that I can think of.
I don't either.
You know, but I have no problem. Anyone that knows me, like, I have no problem paying for a date. I've taken guys out. Like, that is not a problem. But however, if somebody asks you out on a date, woman, I think it's very inappropriate. I think if a man looks to you to pay for the date, or even go half, I think that should tell you a lot about that person. So
I agree.
But okay, so here's another thing. So you're on the first date as a woman or even as a man, like, you may want to be careful about what you order. Your first date with somebody may not be the time where you want to experiment and try something new, and you mess around and get sick.
Oh no, that's what I see.
And your stomach be churning. Like, so always, if you're going out to dinner, you know, your first date is not the time to kind of like experiment. Make sure it's something that you may be familiar with, you know, your steak or whatever. But it's not the time to kind of.
Oh, that looks cool. Like,
no, it's not that time.
Especially if it's a new restaurant for me. I'm always going to try your fish or your pasta. If you mess up on fish and pasta, I don't even want to come to your restaurant anymore.
Yeah.
Like that. Those are my 2 biggest things that I love to eat. I can't.
Yeah. As
I said, a nice seafood entree.
On your first date, the person doesn't need to know where you live necessarily. This is, you know, back in the day, it was a whole, courting, right? So when you court somebody, you come to their house, you meet who's in the house, you're invited in while the person is finished getting ready, whatever that may be. You know, we miss the days of courting. I think courting is very appropriate. However, we are definitely in more of a dating age. And if you're dating somebody and it's your first time, you know, again, adding all these extra layers of protection for yourself, that person doesn't necessarily have to know where you live. Maybe if you live in an apartment complex, maybe you have them pick you up in the apartment. You know, they don't know exactly what unit, but especially if you have your own house, like, it may not be worth having them come all the way to your home so they can know where you live. You may, you know, first dates, people love to get picked up, but for me, I'm always comfortable with the first date, like, meeting the person there.
Tip. Oh my goodness. Tip. So, if we've had good service and you leave a sucky tip and, you know, you decided you wanted to pay the whole thing, because I don't mind taking the tip if you pay, whatever. But if you leave a sucky tip, I'm looking at you sideways. Like, $1 is not a tip. 0 is not a tip. $5 is barely a tip. Like, it depends on what we eat, like we whatever. But I feel like, I judge people by the tips too. So if you leave a sucky tip for our server, I'm looking at you sideways. Because at that point, like, even though you said you're going to pay whatever, you can pay the whole thing, I'm about to come out of my pocket to make sure that our server is taken care of.
Yeah.
Like, for sure. And then I'm not dating you anymore. I'm not, there's no second date.
And I think, overall, it's just have fun. Have fun. Like, I think don't take yourself too seriously. Don't take the date too seriously. I think dating is just that. I find too many people, like, they go out on these first dates and they're like, this is the one. It's like, no, like, you should just go into it with a mindset is I'm getting to know this person. We're going to have a good time. And that's it. Like, don't already have yourself walking down the aisle with this person based on the first date. Exactly. So
thank you for joining us for another episode of the Water and Wine Show. We hope these tips have helped you thus far. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on that notification button, follow us on Instagram, like us on Facebook, all at the Water and Wine Show. All right.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.